Yogi friends, and welcome to yoga. My name is Tamara. I am a certified yoga instructor. Today's quote is, "Some days you eat salad and do yoga. Some days you eat cupcakes and refuse to wear pants." It's called balance. So if you're ready, meet me on your mat, and we're going to start in our child's pose. Big toes touching, knees wide as the mat, stretching the arms out in front of you and melting your hips down toward your heels. Pressing your forehead into the mat. Maybe you roll your head side to side, massaging out your forehead. Centering your mind and dropping down into your body, becoming aware of the breath. And bringing your mind to the present moment. Inhaling evenly in through the nose and evenly out through the nose. And then begin walking your hands over to the right. Opening up and stretching the side body waist. Breathing into any tight areas. Walking your hands back to center and over to the left. Really reaching over, opening up the right side body. Stretching out any cobwebs. Opening up through the side ribs. And walking your hands back to the center. Come up onto your hands and knees. We're going through a few rounds of cat-cows. Moving with your breath. Inhaling, dropping the belly, lifting the head. Exhale, tucking the chin, arching through the back. Going at your own flow with your breath. Just waking up the spine. Bringing cerebral spinal fluid to your spine. And then maybe you make some circles, making it kind of organic. Getting the shoulders, the hips, maybe some neck rolls in. And if you circle in one direction, we got to even it out going the opposite direction. We don't want to walk in circles when we're done. Inhaling that right arm, looking up and threading it under, resting the side of the head down on your mat. And breathing into the space between your shoulder blades. You have an option here to take the left arm and bind it behind your back, reaching for that opposite thigh. And if you want to play with your balance today, inhale, extending that left leg up behind you. And don't worry if you fall out, that's part of it. Have a little fun and play with your yoga practice today. Then releasing that pose, we're going to inhale the right arm back up to the sky, planting it down on your mat, and shake the hips out side to side, releasing any tension. Inhaling the left arm up and threading it under. Resting the side of the head down on the mat. Maybe you take the right arm and bind it behind you, reaching for that opposite thigh. Really opening up the shoulder with this, and option to take that balance, inhaling, extending the right leg off the floor. If you choose to do this, flexing your foot, pressing through your heel, and engaging your core, so that really helps with balance. Releasing the pose, coming back to your hands and knees, inhaling that left arm up, and then shaking it out side to side. Inhale the right arm in front of you. Inhale the left leg behind you, coming into our spinal balance. And exhale, squeeze the elbow to knee. Inhale, stretch it out. Go through a few rounds of this. Elbow to knee. Reaching long through the fingertips and the toes. Playing around with your balance, really strengthening the core. Then maybe you reach back behind and grab your left foot. Pressing the foot into the hand can really help stretch the quadricep out and open up the shoulder. Releasing that foot, planting the hand back down on the mat and shaking it out. Lining back up, inhale the left arm up, and then your right leg, finding your balance. Long line of energy from your fingertips to your heel. Pressing your navel to your spine, engaging your Uddiyana Bandha. Exhale, left elbow to right knee. Inhale, stretch it back out. Exhale, squeezing elbow to knee and reaching back out. A few more rounds, elbow to knee. Inhale, stretching back out. One more. Keeping it nice and long, and then bending that knee, reaching back, grabbing a hold of your foot or the ankle, and pressing the foot into your hand, opening up the shoulder and stretching the quadricep. Gently releasing the foot, reaching everything back out long, placing the hand back down on the mat, shaking your hips side to side, and then coming back to our extended child's pose. And take a moment to think of 3 things you are grateful for. Then inhale, pressing the hips up and high into your downward facing dog. Begin pedaling it out, flexing one knee and then the other, maybe coming up on your toes, pressing the chest towards your thighs, and then swish it back and forth, taking the heels from one side of the mat to the other side. Your gaze is looking between your knees. Inhale, right leg up, 3-legged dog. Exhale, hug that right knee to your elbow. Then step that right foot up between your right hand, dropping the back knee. Coming up into your low lunge. Inhale, arms overhead, really sinking into that hip. Exhale, twist it open, gaze over your right hand. Inhale, arms overhead. Hands to heart center, taking the left elbow to the right knee for a spinal twist, endeavoring to get the palms toward the sternum. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, planting the hand, and you're going to lean back into our Hanumanasana half split. Begin saying hello to the hamstrings. Then bringing the leg back behind you into your tabletop, press your hips up and high, downward facing dog. So feeling strong through the arms, pressing the hands into the mat, really gripping. Then inhaling your left leg up, 3-legged dog. Hug that left knee to your chest, then stepping that left foot over to your left hand, coming into your low lunge. Really sinking into it, stretching out your psoas. Inhaling your arms overhead and twisting over to the left. Inhale, arms overhead, and twist one more time. Inhale, arms overhead, hands to heart center, and then we're going to twist it to the left. Right elbow coming to left knee, endeavoring to get the palms to the sternum. And on your exhales, maybe you twist just a little bit deeper. Release, inhale, arms overhead, and sinking back into our half split. Trying to square off the hips, maybe bring your right hip forward just a little bit. Swinging that leg back behind you. Pressing the hips up and high, downward facing dog. Find any movement that feels good. Maybe your heels are sinking a little bit closer to the mat this time. Feeling the breath as it ripples up and down your spine. Then walking your hands forward to meet your hands to hang in our forward fold. Clasping opposite elbows. Picture framing your face and swaying side to side. Neck is heavy and long. Head is heavy. Walking your feet a little bit closer. And then inhale, slowly rolling all the way back up to come into our standing mountain pose. Drawing your hands down through heart center. Exhale the hands to the side. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, extension in the back. Forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, planting the hands and stepping back to your high plank. Holding it here, puffing up between the shoulders. Belly engaged. Long through the crown of the head. And then we're going to shift over to the right side, coming into our side plank. Really pressing the hip up toward the sky. Lining your shoulder over your wrist. You can take a modification here coming down onto your right knee into a side plank variation. Exhale, planting that left hand back down on the mat, coming into our plank. Inhale, shifting the weight over to your left hand, coming into side plank on the left. Lining your shoulder over your wrist. Pressing the hip up toward the sky. Taking the modification as needed, bringing that knee to the mat. Your gaze can be up at your hand or down at your fingertips, whatever feels good on the neck. Exhale, planting the right hand on the mat, coming back into our plank. Shifting forward, hugging the knees to your side, lower all the way down, forehead resting on the mat. Inhale to your baby cobra. Exhale, back down. Pressing up, shining that heart through into your baby cobra. Exhale, rolling back down. Inhale, maybe you press up a little bit higher this time. Exhale, rolling back down. And then coming onto your forearms into a nice Sphinx pose. And then pressing the hips up and high into your dolphin pose. We're going to work on some arm strengthening here from our dolphin pose. Coming up, left hand, right hand, stretching it back down to right elbow, left elbow. Up on left hand, right hand. Exhale, right elbow, left elbow. Inhale, right hand, left hand. Exhale, right elbow, left elbow. And pressing it here. Come down onto your knees, dropping the hips towards your heels, and resting in our child's pose. Maybe this time you touch the thumbs and index fingers together, creating a triangle, which really opens up the shoulders. And then inhale, feeling the belly drop toward the floor. Exhale, feeling the air rise, belly, chest, throat. And feeling grateful for this present moment. We're going to shift forward into our tabletop, pressing hips up and high. Downward facing dog, walk it out. We're going to try that same sequence this time into our high lunge. Inhale, lifting the right leg up. Exhale, stepping through the right foot next to the right hand. Inhale, coming up into your high lunge. Inhaling, arms overhead, Anjaneyasana, sinking into your hips. Exhale, twist it open to the right. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, twist it to the right. Inhale, arms overhead. One more time. Drawing your hands to heart center, bringing the left elbow to the right knee. Coming into your prayer twist. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, planting both hands, stepping that right foot back. Exhaling, downward facing dog. Maybe your heels are closer to the mat, pressing your chest towards your thighs, stretching through your shoulders. Looking up between your hands, walking the feet to meet your hands. Hanging here in forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, sweeping the arms over the head. Drawing the hands together to heart center, releasing your hands to your side. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, planting the hands, stepping back to your high plank. Holding it here, then shifting forward, hugging elbows to your ribs, lowering down, inhaling to your upward facing dog. Shining through the heart. Exhale, downward facing dog. Drawing the ribs down, releasing the shoulders, pressing the hips a little bit higher. Inhale, left leg up high, stepping the left foot next to the left hand, and inhaling to your high lunge, arms overhead. Exhale, twisting to the left 3 times. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, twisting open. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, bringing the hands to heart center and bringing that right elbow to the opposite knee. pressing open through your chest. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, planting the hands, stepping the left foot back, plank pose. Shifting forward, hugging elbows to your ribs. Inhaling, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. And pausing here to reset. Always pressing the navel to spine. Look up and you can hop or float to the front of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, sweeping the arms over the head. Drawing your hands down to your heart center. Stepping the feet out wide as the mat. We're going to sink down into our yogi squat, our malasana squat. Lifting up through the pelvic floor. This is a great stretch for your low back. Then planting the right hand, inhaling the left arm up into a twist. Maybe you take your bind, sweeping that right arm around the knee and reaching the left arm behind. Really opening up through your chest. Releasing the bind if you have it. Then switching sides, planting the left hand on the mat, inhaling the right arm overhead. Option here again to take your bind, clasping the hands together behind your back. It's always fun to play with some binds. If you can't get it today, maybe you'll get it tomorrow. And releasing. Gently rolling back to sit on your bottom. Extending the legs out in front of you. Inhaling, sweeping the arms overhead, lengthening through the spine. Exhale, hinging forward at your hips, grabbing your big toes. And maybe you bind around your feet. Focusing on the breath. Releasing the feet. Crossing left leg over your right. Then inhaling right arm over and coming into your twist. Hooking the right elbow onto the left knee. Planting the left hand at the base of your spine. Inhaling, lengthening the spine. Exhaling, deepening the twist. And releasing. Shaking it out. And then crossing right leg over your left. Planting the right hand behind. Bringing the left elbow to the right knee to your twist. Your gaze can be over your right shoulder. Every exhale, you deepen the twist, feeling joyful and grateful. Then shaking the legs out in front of you. Bending the knees, holding behind the thighs. We're going to come up into our Navasana boat pose. Maybe you straighten your legs and your arms, pressing that navel to spine, engaging your transversus abdominis, lowering down into your canoe. Inhale, boat pose. Holding strong, coming into your canoe. And one more time, our Navasana boat pose. Feet on the ground, hugging it out. Good job. And we're going to roll down slowly, one vertebrae at a time. Taking the arms out as a T, and then just windshield wiping your legs side to side. Just releasing out the low back. Then crossing that right ankle over the left knee, coming into a reclined pigeon. You have the options to stay there or draw the left thigh closer, using your right elbow to press the knee away, deepening the stretch of the piriformis. And breathe into the tight spot. Take any movement that feels good, rocking side to side, ankle circles, flexing and extending the left knee. Always honoring your body, doing what feels good. Then releasing, planting both feet on the floor and windshield wiping side to side. Nice release for the low back. Then crossing the left ankle over the right knee. Then threading through, hugging the right thigh towards you, taking any movements that you need. Rotating the ankle. Maybe hug it a little bit more, stretching into the piriformis, flexing and extending the right knee. Relaxing and softening the jaw and the space between your forehead. Breathing into the hip. And releasing it down, taking the feet wide as the mat, dropping the knees toward each other into our constructive rest. Letting the arms just relax beside you. Then hugging both knees into your chest. Roll side to side, massaging out the lumbar spine. Shifting the hips over to the left, we're going to twist over to the right. Maybe helping the twist a little bit deeper with your right hand. Left arm is reached out to a T beside you. Maybe your gaze is over your left hand, maybe your eyes are closed. And releasing, coming back up, resetting, shifting the hips to the right, bending the knees and dropping the knees over to your left. Inhaling, sweeping the right arm up and over to the side, coming into a nice twist. Twists are always detoxifying, massaging your internal organs. And coming back up. One more big hug. Full wind pose, knees to chest, releasing the feet to the mat. So bending your knees where your fingertips can graze your heels. We're going to inhale our hips up toward the ceiling into our bridge pose. Let's do some rolling bridges, lifting and lowering, one vertebrae at a time. Pressing the hips up toward the sky. Then maybe you clasp your hands underneath you, working your shoulders underneath, and press the hips just a little bit higher, squeezing the glutes, tracking the knees toward each other, and clasping the hands, rolling down one vertebrae at a time. And windshield wipe those knees side to side, releasing the low back. Hugging the knees to your chest and grabbing the outside of your feet, coming into my favorite happy baby pose. Rocking side to side, straightening one leg and bending the other. Releasing the low back. Doing a little inversion, getting our feet higher than our heart. Then releasing the feet, bringing the soles of the feet together, coming into your Supta Baddha Konasana. An opportunity to really let the hips open up, bringing one hand to the belly, one hand to the heart. Begin connecting the breath with your heart. Feeling the heart beating underneath your hand. Imagining a soft glow all around your body. With every inhale, feel that glow soften and expand. Every inhale, the belly rises. Every exhale, the belly falls. Noticing just where can you soften. Then drawing the legs together, stretching the feet out long, palms beside you. Preparing for our Shavasana or corpse pose, where we lie on our back and bring our whole body into a resting position. We cherish the breath we are taking. Savor the air on our skin. And feel the stretch in our muscles. Our mind and body pace together that very moment. All the weariness of the muscles and the stress of life melt away when we lie flat on our back with our eyes closed. And that is gratitude at its peak. Lying here for a few moments in silence, just observing any thoughts that may pop up, and as a witness, let them go without judgment. Letting the breath return to its natural state. Your body heavy, melting into your mat. Begin waking up your body, making circles with your ankles and your wrist. Inhaling arms overhead into a nice long body stretch. Then hugging your knees into your chest. Then rolling over to your favorite side, just curling up in a little ball, cradling the head in your arms. Taking this moment to thank yourself for taking time out to meet me on the mat. Then helping yourself up, coming into a sitting pose, meeting me in Sukhasana, easy sitting. Inhaling arms overhead, scooping up all that positive energy and drawing it into your heart. Inhaling 2 more times. Exhaling, drawing hands down to your heart center. Inhale all the gratitude and bringing it inward to share with the world. Thank you for joining me today. Namaste. For more free yoga videos with me, like and subscribe to my channel. See you soon.